is being said about this trial, which is being used to prop up a system that exploits young athletes, particularly young black athletes, to enrich coaches and academic elites. This bothers me. I don't understand why. This is the perfect example of, to me, the criminal justice system out of control. We have a system of amateurism that most of us that were involved in it, and most of us that are passionate about, we've agreed amateurism has outlived its usefulness. Why is our federal government, why is our criminal justice system trying to enforce amateurism and criminalize what, to me, for the most part, seems like a group of adults who realize, man, there's too much money to be being made to not cut the kids in some fashion, kids or family in some fashion. I don't understand why we're not up in arms about this.
Yeah, I share your pain. I just don't know the pragmatic approach in which we're going to challenge and put that burden on student athletes or former student athletes in the pros to say you're going to be the voice of change because, one, let's think about what that would look like. If LeBron James, let's use him as an example, the greatest voice in sports, it seems, right now, and he were to apply pressure on this, something that's illegal, something that's unethical, that is being committed by other adults at universities, and he applies pressure and says this is unfair, the prosecution of those guys, and this whole situation is a scam. We all know that, but then if they were to say, okay, let's exonerate everyone and let's change the rules, the wild, wild west would ensue. Like, it would be crazier than ever until you get that exact change that you're talking about. And that's a problem. And also, what's a problem is, if you look at the situation as is, I don't feel sympathy for a guy, and I've been a guy, I wasn't a 5-star, probably 3+ star, not even 4-star, had big offers, but still not one of these guys. The minority of guys who are getting paid is such a small margin. And it's a small margin also of people who get paid and protest in the NFL, NBA, whatever it is. And to now have sympathy for a guy who made it 18 years broke, and I was one of those guys, you were too, 18 years broke. And I can't wait 1 year or 3 years or 4 years. Like, I just don't understand this whole, the climate in the home.
Coach ain't waiting.
Coach is not waiting, but you know what? I see that coming too. And I see that, look, I have to respect rules as they exist and then get within to change those same rules. But I can't sit there and now take this money and then it falls back on me and say the system is corrupt.
They've convinced you that your education is your value. You didn't understand your market value as a student athlete, and they've convinced us that giving you this free education is something that you should revere and take pride in, and that is what all you should be given. But if I get an academic scholarship, I get that free education, and I don't have to go to that full-time job after I finish, which I'm mentally and physically tired from. I have demands on me. I have so many, I have to travel. I cannot even do the first thing I'm there for.
Things that undermine your academic.
Exactly. It makes me inefficient on why you say I'm there for. So we have to see what's in front of us, but LeBron James has started this conversation. He executive produced the student athlete piece, and that showed us what was in front of us. I saw some stories that I never really would ever have got a chance to see, and I have empathy for kids who are going through some real life things. One thing that stuck out when the Nick Richards part, when they brought up what his market value would be in college sports, $1.4 million right now.
Right.
You're making that much money off a child, and he can't receive any of it. It's a big problem, and we would need a whole nother show to unpack this problem. But they're going to find an answer to this problem, because once the coaches get involved and the faces of the NCAA of these programs, because the NCAA doesn't have a face, the coaches are the face. Once it starts trickling down to them, and they maybe have scares of getting arrested, they're gonna find an answer.
Okay, for clarification purposes, I agree with what you're saying in value, in essence, yes. But now we're at the point of no return in terms of there's a fence to hop, and you know it's corrupt in there, but do you hop that fence, or do you play by the rules and then try to change what's behind that fence? My thought process is, I'm not going to be an athlete that takes money and then says, you know what, because I know my value. I'm not going to be that guy. And I'm also not going to be one of these adults who works for an institution who's going to exploit the same kids and then say, hey, give me a slap on the wrist because the whole system is corrupt. I'm neither one of those guys. I know it's messed up, but there are a lot of things in life that are messed up, and I got to figure a legal, ethical way to get around them.
Here's my issue, Marcellus. Here's why I'm trying to put pressure on athletes. And I hope that documentary LeBron started was just a starting point, because I didn't think it was an effective indictment of the NCAA system, because it just scratched at the surface. But Marcellus, I just think this is an industry, football and basketball, primarily dominated by us.
Yeah.
And so by black athletes. Why aren't we trying to take care of and fix an industry that we are dominant in? We are looking at, and again, because I don't believe every Division I football or basketball player should be paid. The guys with that special value should be paid. I said it last week on this show. The guys that are, mediocre talents or not real pro talent, don't bring that kind of value, should be given extra years of school so that when they're done playing, they get more time to finish school. But I would like some pressure on these college administrators, school presidents. This is their system. And this is why we don't hear criticism of it, because the media protects school presidents, the liberal elite. They have created and protect this system of exploitation,
right,
and no one wants to call it out because it's not the right.
Even in that documentary, they called it out. Calipari, a lot of coaches call it out, but
the documentary is a start, because it exposed and it showed real life stories. Until we can see real life people being affected, the media suppresses these issues, and we forget. Like, even when you asked me the question, I forgot. I don't associate the real problem until I see a real individual being hurt. And pieces like that are a start to show you how these lives are being affected, and now we can create change. I think it'll resonate with somebody else, and they'll speak out, or they'll look for other people who are being affected and try to create change.
I'm saying turn on the TV right now, or at least show on TV right now. There are a group of men possibly going to prison because they gave a few black kids and their parents some money.
Absolutely correct.
They're potentially
and you think
going
that's
to.
fine?
No, I don't think it's fine. I think it's crazy.
But you think it's fine to accept the money?
I don't have yes, because the coaches are accepting every dime given to them. As soon as they win a few extra.
Two wrongs make the right.
No, it's
Who
not
said it's a
about
wrong,
two wrongs.
though?
Well,
Why is it wrong?
It's a wrong because they're going to go to jail. So somebody, whatever you want to do.
There's been plenty of laws, Marcellus, that are wrong.
And you're going to my original point. Until that law has changed, I'm going to play by these rules.
How do you change laws? By raising your hand and objecting? It's like the drug war and anything else where the laws have been used inappropriately.
Do you want to Google protests against the NCAA? Do you want to just Google NCAA and see how much criticism comes their way every single day and every single moment? And coaches, even in the documentary, they show coaches going to the podium. We need to pay the players. I'm in agreement with you guys, but that does not excuse behavior that is self-centered and incentivized by universities of these individuals who are on trial. I thought you were saying we should exonerate these individuals.
We should exonerate them,
well,
because they look like Americans to me. capitalistic Americans to me that are sitting in a system that's creating all this money and wealth, and they can't get a piece?
So get a piece any way you can.
I'm looking at administrators who push paper all day, making 7-figure salaries and high 6-figure salaries, and these kids, I'm supposed to be upset because the parent gets a job?
So you're the parent that's going to take the money, huh?
I'm going to take it and give it.
Okay, all right.
Even in the student-athlete piece, right?
Not me.
The NCAA said, you know what, we give them facilities, we give them an education, we give them a breeding ground to make their talent better over this time period here.
Yeah.
The NBA does the same thing, you know that, right?
You know that, right.
And they get paid a salary, you know that, right? Like
give me the G League.
The G League does. No, the NBA does. I can get after my career is done, I can get an education. I can go back and get my education. I'm going to get paid. I use facilities, you understand that, on a daily basis. And they have people there to make me better.
Yeah.
So what is the difference between one getting paid and one not? And you've created this environment to make them, even if it's something, I'm not saying the $1.4 million, but you had a value even at your school. We have to equate a value for these student athletes who people are making money off of, because the small minority who are getting in trouble right now, they have some real dire situations going. But even if your family, you were one of them too. You may have been a smaller talent, but you still were broke. Your family could have received something.
And we kept waiting because
you waited because that was your only option. Some people have different options.
Okay, let me give you this in story. So, you said we got to bring a story to it. Here's a short story. I was at a dinner. I'm not going to say the school. I'm not going to say the individual. He was supposed to be #1 talent in the country. Whatever. I'm going to the bathroom. I see these coaches I know. What's up, coach? What's up, man? What are you doing? What you up to, coach? Oh, we got one of those dinners. Really? What's one of those dinners? Oh, we got them over there. Oh, I peeked, saw the parents there and the representative. I said, oh, yeah, what they talking about? 180. And I was like, what? He's decommitting? He was like, nah, that's how much it's going to cost, 180. Now, tell me, from a broke position, I need 180 right now before my son comes to your school? And that was a couple of years ago. So I don't know where the price is right now, but everyone's acting like this is a dire situation.
We got to end on this because we've gone long. But you do understand there have been some laws in this country that are worthy of breaking.
Oh, absolutely.
And so I don't want to put you in an unfair spot. I just want to, because we gotta wrap this up. We talked last week with Joe, or maybe it was this week, about Walter Byers, who created the modern NCAA, and then as he saw it create more and more money, he wrote in his book and he started talking about speech, analogizing it to a plantation and the overseers making money. And so the reason why I'm comfortable making this analogy is because the guy that created the NCAA basically compared it to slavery. And so to me, this is like criticizing Harriet Tubman for freeing the slaves and breaking the slave laws.
Because it was a law.
Because it was a law. Some laws are worthy of breaking, and I have no respect for. And this amateurism thing, I don't have any respect for at all. Thanks, Dante. Coming up, did Lonzo Ball just put the final nail in the